above the floor of the Washington State House of Representatives. And I'm with Drew Stokesbary, the caucus leader and minority leader in the Washington State House of Representatives. Something interesting happened today. Initiative 2113, that's the one that would restore reasonable police pursuits, had a moment on the floor of the House. We tried to get a special instruction made that would require the relevant committee of the legislature to have a hearing on the initiative. And our colleagues across the aisle said no. They didn't want to guarantee a hearing for the initiative. And Drew kind of led the charge for us on the floor. So Drew, tell everyone in more detail what happened.
Yeah, well, as many of you know, when initiatives to the legislature are submitted to the legislature, they're sort of treated like bills, at least during the legislative session. So the Secretary of State officially certified Initiative 2113, which would restore pursuit law here in Washington State, to the legislature last week. So just like any other bill, it gets referred to a committee. That's all normal. It happens for every bill, every initiative under the sun. In this case, because the Constitution, Article 2, Section 1A of the state constitution requires that initiatives to the legislature shall take precedence over all other measures before the legislature, we as Republicans felt like that language in the Constitution has to mean something. The founders of the state didn't put it there for no reason. And so our opinion was that one way that we could ensure these initiatives take precedence over all other matters is instructing the committee to hold a hearing. That's not something we do for normal bills. When Jim or I or our colleagues drop a bill, we have to go ask the committee chair for a hearing. In this case, the House as a whole would have instructed the committee to hold a hearing. And we thought that was important for two reasons. One, there's a constitutional duty to ensure these measures take precedence above all other measures. So guaranteeing a hearing would have done that. There's also a moral responsibility. 430,000 Washingtonians signed this initiative and have said that there is a problem with police pursuit laws here in Washington. So we have a moral obligation as a legislature to at least hold a hearing on the initiative and understand why 430,000 people signed it. I think Jim and I would say that they signed it because it's time for a change and we've got to fix Washington. But we should at least have that conversation here in the legislature. Unfortunately, after we made the motion to instruct the committee to hold a hearing, every single Republican voted for that to require a hearing be held, but every single Democrat in the House just voted no to oppose a hearing in the House Public Safety Committee. So very disappointing, but there are still about 53, 52 days. You're making me do math live, Jim. 52 days left in the legislature. So there are 5 more initiatives to come. And this initiative has some other opportunities to be talked about as well. So Republicans are down here fighting to fix Washington and shine some light on these initiatives before they hit the ballot next fall. So back to you, Jim.
Yeah, that's it. Drew beat me to the punch on the constitutional reference. It is Article 2, if you want to look it up. Article 2 of the state constitution talks about many things involving the legislature. It also talks about initiatives, specifically the mechanics of how they work. And yeah, it was really disappointing. We were hoping to get some bipartisan buy-in on this, at least a little bit. And it was a straight party line vote, which is disappointing. But as Drew says, there's still time, and a hearing could still happen on this and the other initiatives. It's just not certain that they will. So there'll be much more to talk about as we go forward the next several weeks. But the first initiative is in the books here. It is a bill for all practical purposes for the next 50 odd days. And the rest of the initiatives are coming. So we'll have more on those as we get there. But for now, we're fighting here. We'll talk to you soon.